Hey y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer, and today we're going to talk about a special little lens that was given to me. That lens is the 50mm f2.8 Enlarger lens from Nikon. This lens I have heavily adapted to this Z6 so I can shoot with it. Thanks to Aaron, he's got me kind of lined out on all the little widgets and devices required to get it to fit onto the camera. And I went through a little bit of a learning curve with it. Hold on. Has to be the loudest truck in the history of trucks. I've got it now kind of kitted out to where it's pretty nice. Now, we're using a macro helicoid to drive it, and that allows us to have infinity focus as well as a very, very close minimum focus distance. Actually, from the front of the lens, it's about 4 inches away as minimum focus distance. So you get a very large range of focus with this setup with a lens that's a very simple design that produces very, very sharp photos. That the rendition of the lens is excellent. So the fact that it doesn't have a focus mechanism inside of the lens makes the lens very simple in design. It only has 4 lens elements in the whole lens because of that. So you do have an aperture, but that's all. And the lens performs and works really well. So I'll go over some photos with it as I walk around down here in Chattanooga a little while today, share those with you and let you just see what it's capable of. It's really windy on ML King today for some reason. I've stepped over here off to the side of the building and it suddenly got a lot less windy, but man, the main draft coming down MLK right through there, that corridor, is blowing hard. And apparently you can get, oh, now the wind's gonna blow down through here because I said something, but you can apparently get variations of the lens, or basically there's variations from copy to copy, because like Aaron's focuses, like infinity focuses at the very end of his focus helicoid's movement, and mine will focus past infinity. So you gotta kind of watch what you're doing there. I'm using focus magnification and focus highlight indicators, peaking indicators, so I'll know what's in focus, and it's the distance. I can get everything from about 15 feet on pretty well in focus, so I don't have to really mess with that while I'm kind of shooting street photos, if I'm shooting across the street or even just 10 or 15 feet away. But once you get inside that, it starts, even I'm at f8, and even at f8 it starts getting compartmentalized like typical focus. The lens takes phenomenal photos. It's actually a very, very good lens. The only problem I have with it for shooting street photography is the focus throw. Since it's a macro helicoid, the focus throw is way too long. So it's not very practical for that, because I find myself chasing focus around. Even at f8, the depth of field kind of, the camera says it's in focus, but when you look at the picture, really ain't. You're much out more than 4 or 5 feet away from where the center of focus is. So it doesn't work as good for that as I wanted it to. But as far as macro goes and static photos, honestly, this may just become the lens I use to shoot my thumbnails with, because this lens. All right, we're back home, mainly because the GoPro died in town. So I don't know, bad battery or something. I had just put the battery in it. Didn't last 10 minutes, shut me down. And I also realized I recorded everything in Chattanooga in 1080, 120 frames. You gotta pay attention to that frame rate. So goes life. Anyway, I was going to show you the setup on this little 50mm enlarger lens. All right, I'm going to just take it off the camera for this and set the camera face down on the table here. All right, this is what all it takes to put this on. Here's the enlarger lens proper, okay? That's the lens itself. That's the base of this project. And what I have here is, this is 3 components. We have an adapter ring. You have, this is a M42 to Z6 or Z mount plate. That just converts M42 to Z6 or Z mount. And then this is a macro helicoid. As you can see, it basically triples its length as you drive it. Let's see here. You got 1/2, 1 rev, 1.5. It's about 1.5 full revolutions from minimum to maximum. All right. So you basically screw these together. All right, in a video I produced recently, let me grab that other one. In a video I put out recently, or just a few weeks back, I had bought this helicoid, all right? And this one has the Z6 mount and then the M42 built into it, so you don't have to do an adaptation. Here's the problem, it's too thick. When you line up the Z6 mounting scheme, you can see this other one comes in about 2 full millimeters shorter, maybe just a little more than that. And that won't allow this one to focus to infinity. It will do macro. It will do macro great, but it won't do infinity focus. So I went ahead and got this system. Since it's shorter, it allows the lens to get a little closer to the camera. It gives me infinity focus. It actually focuses past infinity. So this one's actually too short technically, but that doesn't hurt anything. This is M42, which is really a standard in the industry, so I had to get a 39 and M39 to M42 adapter ring to convert the threads over. So that goes in there. So you run that down. Now it's an M39 mount. And then you get your lens and you screw it into this. I don't know, the comms between the GoPro and my phone are weird. It's doing some crazy stuff here. I hope it's recording. I'm using my phone as a monitor and it's doing some jacked up stuff. Not real sure what that's about. Anyway, now that I've got the lens on the adapter, Aaron, that was weird. I think the power just went off. Okay. Aaron's done built one of these out, so I basically just got him to give me the laundry list of devices to get it on the camera. And he said, get one of these. And what this is a lens hood, and it fits this 40.5 millimeter front end thread. And it's an aluminum filter. And it even comes with this cool little lens cap. So you just drop it down in there and lock it onto the front of the doohickey. But yeah, so now you get a lens cap that fits it, a sunshade, and it fits all the way out to get it on the camera, and then it gives you an incredible amount of focus distance. I mean, 1.5 full turns on the focus ring. And that's great for macro, but it's not super great for street photography. What I've learned so far with street photography is you want a focus throw of 1/2 rev or less, preferably 1/4 rev or less, because you want it to be able to pull focus quickly with just a little bit of movement. That's why Leica M lenses literally are about 1/4 of a throw, and you know, when you're running those M's, you can watch people. There's a little tab on the bottom of the lens for the focus, and they just flick it back and forth, and that's full throw. And it's because they want to get focus quickly. It's designed that way on purpose. And a lot of lenses that I've seen lately, I've been paying attention to, that were more film camera oriented for snapshots, you'll notice that the focus throw is 1/4 turn, less, somewhere in that neighborhood. But once it's on the camera, it looks really good. So let's look at the picture.